What's up? Hey, I'm not late. It's just early. Hey, what's up? I said, it's Tuesday, December 17th. It's almost Christmas. It's a week from Christmas Eve. You guys have presents under a tree and stuff? Glad you're doing well. I have more news on the goddamn drones. I think every show that I've done over the last several days has led with drones. So it's going to be drones again. I don't know what to say. The whole world is falling apart. Apparently, governments are being toppled all over the place. Canada's government is about to be kaput. So I have a little news about that if you're interested. Basically because of Trump, it sounds like. Because Trump threatened tariffs and Trudeau couldn't handle it. So he's going to get knocked out. That terrible finance minister person who froze people's bank accounts, she quit. So that's news if you care about Canada. How many people live there? If we made it a state, could we govern it better? Could we use the resources better? Hmm. 40 million. That's pretty big. It's not as much as California or New York. That's pretty big, 40 million, but it's a huge place. They have lots of resources, right? In Canada. We're talking about making it a state. I mean, Trump is, which is funny. So Trudeau was going to be governor, but instead it looks like he's going to step down. So I have that news. Apparently governments are going down in Germany and France. People are warning about World War III still. You guys worried about World War III? I don't know. I find it, there are people who are like seriously concerned. They're always worried that we're going to launch nukes at each other. I don't know. My thinking is if we haven't done it yet and have the capability supposedly for a long time, I mean, is anybody really going to nuke anybody? Nobody's done it yet. And as soon as somebody does, then it's like they're going to get. Would you do it? Would you launch a nuke if you knew you were going to get nuked? I mean, how would you get away with it? You have to prep everybody for it. Make sure the whole world isn't going to turn against you. I just don't think anybody's going to launch a nuke. That guy was on with Tucker, Jeffrey Sachs. It's like, we're 15 seconds from midnight, I guess. Or we'll live here forever and never nuke each other. And so a lot of people think nukes aren't real anyway. I don't know if that's a cope. Could be a cope. Nukes aren't real. We're all going to be fine. But it might be true too. I don't know. It's quite a psyop. So anyway, the news. Okay, here's the news. I'll give it to you up front because I don't care how many people hear me. Everybody says, and some guy, like people who say they're experts, came out and said that the drones are sniffing for nukes. And they're talking about this piece of nuclear material that's gone missing. So I'll tell you guys about that. But there was a guy apparently today on Rogan who shot that down. So I'll show you that. And then, what else do I have? Oh yeah, there was a school shooting. Really weird because it was a girl, supposedly. So I have a little news on it. I don't know what to say about it. Supposedly she killed 2 people. Everybody was saying she was trans first, which I thought was kind of fake news if it wasn't true. I'll show you her. She gave an okay hand sign before going on her shooting spree. So maybe that was her Illuminati hand sign. Bitcoin hit $108,000 today. It's at 106.2 right now. All-time high. It's reaching all-time highs most every day. I'm wearing my Bitcoin Safe sweatshirt today. So hopefully you guys are buying some once in a while. Don't be intimidated. Just buy $10 worth. It's okay. Eventually it'll be worth a lot more. Pirate says, yeah, they're not real. What about all the Didn't North Korea supposedly test one underground that collapsed some bunker or something? What about the seismographs and stuff where they say, oh, we know they tested a nuke because there was like seismograph, earthquake kind of stuff? It's supposedly France tested an H-bomb once. H-bombs are supposed to be big. I don't know if we've tested any on land. If we did at all. Otherwise, it's a very elaborate hoax, very elaborate, involving multiple states. Oh, flat Earth. Yeah, I could have led with that. Is flat Earth dead? What do you think? Flat Earthers, because several flat Earthers listen to this show. And I've done flat Earth content before. They went to Antarctica for the final experiment. Jaron did, and some other people, and broadcast live from Antarctica. And the sun stays up for 24 hours. So it goes around your head, which you can't do on the flat Earth map that everybody's been using. So I'll play you a clip of Jaron talking about it. I've been following Jaron in Antarctica. It's cool. You can live stream from Antarctica. Never thought of it. Very expensive to go there. All right, so I'll see what you guys say. All right, thanks for tuning into the show. Appreciate you. Happy Tuesday. Here we go. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, kind of. So, yeah, flat Earth news. That's the big news. I don't know if it means flat Earth is dead. I don't know if that means Jaron is no longer a... Do you guys understand why the 24-hour sun invalidates the flat Earth model? I could show you a picture of it if you're really interested. But basically, there can't be 24-hour sun in Antarctica on the map. And I told Jaron, I was like, Mr. Beast went there during the summer, and so it was 24-hour sun. So I was like, hey, Jaron, it's 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Anyway, then these Globers flew them to Antarctica just to see their face and make fun of them forever. So anyway, I'll play you his. It has 4.6 million views. Wow, that's crazy. So it's paradigm destroying for flat earthers, perhaps, because Jaron apparently has changed his mind. So I'll play that clip. Let me play it.
Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, you want to go? I'll take you. And he brought me here. And it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself. Don't listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is. That's it. If you want to call me a shill, so be it. I'll live to see another day, and at least I know that I got to see it. And I just want to say thanks to Will through everything. You've been at least kind to me, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the trip. If you guys want to, my whole master plan worked for getting a free trip out here and to. But
It's
no,
like
it's amazing.
$35,000.
I can't even tell you. Flying in was the best thing I've ever seen. So looking around, best thing I've ever seen. So how could I give him a hard time for bringing me down here? $35,000 trip. It's been incredible. It will continue to be incredible. We've got some tracking mounts swinging around, seeing the sun. What does it mean? You have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE map no longer works, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. It means that it could work. You'll have to figure out how, because I've tried and I struggle with it. The other thing is a 24-hour moon. If that happens, you got another thing we got to worry about. So it seems like the moon does circle here as well. So you start thinking about that as well. It doesn't mean that AE map is over, flat Earth is over. Maybe somebody's got the answer. I don't have that answer right now. So just want to say thanks again. Appreciate it. Yep.
I don't know. Moon. I don't know how the moon would stay up 24 hours based on any model, but it's hard to figure it out. Guess it could spin around that part. So that's it. Death of flat Earth, apparently. Like, people are just making fun of him or saying, oh, flat Earth are forced to admit that he was wrong. That's what that tweet said. It wasn't even from Jaron's account. I have orb video. I have orb and is it orbs? We have many issues. We have UFOs some places and drones other places. Oh, how did that close? And the government literally says, like, people are wrong. Like, that's what the government's saying right now. They're like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing unusual going on in New Jersey, basically. They're like, people are seeing things. They're just planes, or maybe there's some drones, but it's nothing weird. Basically, like, nothing's happening. That's what the government's official line is. So anyway, here's a video of one that, like, looks like it gets shot down or something. Is this in New Jersey? See, I don't know if this is even in New Jersey. Just some video of, like, a UFO encounter.
Yep, my live got disconnected. Go figure, right? So there is, what the fuck is that? What the hell? Okay, something's going on. Something's going on. What is that next to it? What the fuck? A part of me is starting to maybe think, like, that red drone is someone's drone. Like, someone here putting it up, like police or something like that. And the one above it is the unidentified drones. I don't know. That's not accurate. I am just saying my theory, because that red drone is really low. It's kind of weird.
And
it's
like an orb. Wow.
Oh my god, look at that one going.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
How fast
Where is it going?
See, that's a UFO. Wow, it's going so fast.
It went close to that red drone. What the fuck, guys?
Wow, that's crazy.
What the hell is happening? It's going low. It's getting lower. I'm sorry if you guys can't see that good. I'm trying my best. Okay, so
I think that was it.
That other one
disappeared. And the red one goes
still here.
Straight down.
I don't know if that's someone's drone that's just trying to check things out. My live got disconnected. They are very low in seaside heights right now. Very low.
Yeah, that looked like a UFO. See, so maybe they're up there observing UFOs. Maybe we really are gonna have a melee, like Cliff High said. I have the Pentagon press secretary Just saying that we've had drones before. We have drones going over. Son of the One says November UAP hearings, government admitted they exist, so why deny it now? Well, because these things, like these things with like rotors on them, are pretty much human, right? Except they don't give off heat signatures. That's really weird. That would be like really advanced technology. Somehow they don't give off heat signatures. That's what people are saying. That's weird. Okay, here's the guy from the Pentagon. Let's see if you can hear it.
It won't surprise you. This is not a new conversation for us within DoD. I mean, as I highlighted, drones flying, whether here or overseas, is not something new, right? And especially in the United States with 1 million registered drones and 8,500 flying on any given day. Similar to vehicles that may inadvertently approach a base, the same can be true for drones. As to what constitute a threat, that obviously has to be assessed on a case by case.
Do you guys hear it?
Depending on what the drone is doing, where it's going, and so I'm not going to provide a blanket definition. But again, the idea here is that by providing training, capabilities, resources, commanders are able to assess and make those determinations. Well, again, I definitely don't want to minimize the significant interest and the concern that people have. But again, I think in the way that you now have this modern technology and the ability, you could go out of here right after this briefing and go and buy a drone. And
you can't find one that can loiter for like 6 hours, though. That's super. There's something really advanced. It seems like, depending on who you believe. Government says you're just seeing airplanes, but people are saying these things loiter for hours and hours. It's just not how most people who use drones know that that's not, drones have a limited range. They run on a battery. It's like, what kind of fuel are these things used in and stuff? This is a real mystery. And mayors and stuff are pissed off at the government, which I would be too.
And as long as you're flying it appropriately and not in restricted airspace, there's nothing illegal about flying that drone.
Why does it have to be a classified briefing if these are just hobbyist drones? They're not military drones. Why is it a classified briefing on the Capitol Hill?
I'd have to refer you to Congress on that. Again, sharing as much information as we can here. I don't have the briefing in front of me, so I can't tell you specifically, what aspects are classified or not. I can assure you, though, that again, we are sharing as much information as we can based on what we know.
There you go. That's it, which is like nothing. He's not as bad as Kirby. So yeah, Trump came out and said just like the government knows for sure. And a bunch of people are speculating that they're sniffing for nukes. So anyway, here's the deal with the nuke thing. They say that sniffing for nukes from altitude is useless and you'll never find it. And anyway, the thing that went missing, there was something radioactive that went missing, but it was like a piece of medical equipment. Apparently it had to do with like a PET scanner. So it wasn't a nuclear bomb or anything serious. It was like a medical device that had radiation, like an X-ray machine. Apparently, that's what I heard. I saw it on community notes actually on Twitter for people who are panicking about it. But that's like the main narrative. And the guy came out rugged to debunk that today. I'll play that. But the main narrative is that it's the government sniffing for nukes, and there's some kind of nuke, and like people in the military are leaving the area because they know what's going on, etc. Some people are really confident that that's what it is. Okay. What Trump says is in the Schellenberger thing. Schellenberger got the recording of a meeting with mayors and stuff. And then this has Trump's quote too. Trump just said, oh yeah, the government knows exactly what it is, which would mean that he would know exactly what it is. He doesn't seem worried. He just thinks the government's being weird, not telling people. He didn't seem like he didn't seem concerned or anything about it. Seems like if the government knows, then he would know. because they're briefing him on stuff, security stuff. But anyway, here's Schellenberger and his clips.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Schellenberger for Public. Since November 18th, the military, city mayors, and citizens alike have been reporting widespread drone flying over military bases in New Jersey and Ohio and over homes in New Jersey and other states. This morning, President-elect Donald Trump was asked about the drones.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big distance.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you
Want to
shoot
know
them
the
down?
truth.
Why?
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
But then, a few hours later,
Yes.
representatives from the FBI, the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Federal Aviation Administration all said there was nothing unusual going on at all.
These sightings include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as other aircraft, helicopters, and other images, including lights that are mistakenly reported as drones.
The mayors responded angrily.
This has been going on since November 8th.
Lights.
The air traffic right here in the borough of Florham Park, where I am the mayor of, has never been as big as it is today. And pretty curious to me that on November 18th, the Morristown Airport Tower was not aware of the drones flying in our area.
Public obtained the entire conference call between the mayors, the White House, the FBI, DHS, and the FAA, which ran from around 3:30 p.m. East Coast today to just before 4:30.
You can say these are small aircraft. You can say these are manned. They're not. So I think if anyone was to take away from this that the drones aren't flying, they also must believe that the border is closed. I just don't want to hear any longer that we don't know where they're coming from, because you should know that.
One mayor said he had one drone over his house.
I'm from Edison, New Jersey, smack center of New Jersey, and right above my house, I had two drones that were the size of vehicles. I understand that there's a lot of lawfully owned drones, but I just want to stress that it was above my house. I have a video of it. It's not, it's not a small drone, and it was real. It was probably 100, maybe a couple hundred feet above me. And no, I've never seen a drone like that ever before. It was very large, again, the size of a vehicle. So, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time out and alleviating the concern of a foreign threat or overseas. But my question is really, how many people have you deployed within New Jersey to also look at this? Understand that there's over 100-something, a couple hundred mayors that are all waving a flag saying this is a big deal. We're not trying to be hysterical here. We're not trying to cause panic, but it is, for officials up top to just say that these are legal and lawful and this is not, this is all normal. I think that's what the problem is, that this is certainly not normal. It's an abnormal amount of drones, and the sizes of them are just huge.
Please subscribe now to support
There you go.
Public's.
It says Schellenberger, not Schoenberger. He's been in on this UFO thing too. Thanks, El Shizzle. Okay, he participated. I put up the super chat challenge. $5 super chats is what we're looking for this stream. Thanks, El Shizzle. And if I get it, I'll praise the chat, including Al Shizzle. Thanks, El Shizzle, who says hope all is well. It's all right. Things are all right. Here's Son of the One. says they offered us free energy in 1947 if we would get rid of our nukes, but we were persuaded to say no. Can't have free energy. Nothing can be free. It can't be free. That would be bad. Things have to be at least somewhat scarce. But we have to have more energy, cheaper. Nuclear is like pretty close to free. Kinda. I mean, it's not too expensive. Water, power is pretty free. Yeah, you think the aliens have talked to us already? It's possible. I wonder if they talked to Trump. I wonder why they haven't communicated with us yet that we're aware of. What are those aliens thinking about? What do they want? What do they want? Good question. All right, so here is a guy that came on Rogan to talk about it. I don't even know who he is, but apparently he's some kind of expert who says that it's not nuke sniffing. So this is the clip. This is not nuke sniffers.
Where it is and to go get it, right? So you can imagine that would be their number one priority, right? So I engage with these folks. I ask them, what's the sense here? People are kind of starting to panic a little bit, and this message is getting out there more and more broadly. And they assured me that's not the case, that there is not a loose nuke or other type of weapon of mass destruction that these objects, whatever they are pursuing right now. Otherwise, they would be working in a skiff nonstop to make that go away, that problem go away. So, that's part of why I have a high confidence level that this is not a response to a massive imminent, weapons of mass destruction threat on the eastern seaboard. So I just want to try to dispel that rumor right now. I've seen a lot of talk of that online, and I don't, although this is I think a dangerous and scary situation that's going on right now, at least from that particular angle, that's not the indications I'm receiving.
So how would they persuaded you? Just by saying that's not the case? Or have they given you any information that leads to this conclusion? Like,
they would be the people actively working it, essentially, right? So,
and they're not
working it, right? So either the government is holding back that secret from the direct resources within the government that are responsible for finding these systems, or they're not working the issue because there's an issue there to work.
So the thing that I had heard was that it was a missing nuke from Ukraine. And if that was the case, what could they do? Is there any truth to this idea that we have the type of drone capability that we could send these things out and they would search for gamma radiation and they'd be able to find a nuke? Is that?
So there are teams that respond to those types of potential emergencies, typically within the Department of Energy. Having potentially hundreds of drones flying around trying to identify these isn't necessarily the best way. Gamma radiation is typically well shielded in weapons, and at very high altitudes or even moderate altitudes, like we're seeing these objects, it would be pretty difficult to detect them. And the way that NIST, DOE typically operates in this environment is ground-based teams searching for radiation itself. So it's not necessarily consistent with how they would do it to begin with. And then based off of that other information, that's what leads me to believe that's not the case.
Well, that makes me feel better because I was freaking out this weekend.
I think a lot of people were.
Yeah, I got a couple, but it's one of those things, especially in this day and age.
Hey, says Glenn Beck says it was a private company informing November this year they'd fly over New Jersey. Well, that's one theory. We still don't know, though. Hey says, so stop over discussing this non-story, please. It's not a non-story, for sure. It's definitely not a non-story. And just because Glenn Beck played a thing doesn't mean it's true. We still don't know. Could be a private company testing drones. Did they say it was? All right. People are sick of it, huh? Well, it makes me feel good. I'll still play you one more thing about the heat signatures because the heat signatures are interesting. If it doesn't have a heat signature, then it's some kind of super advanced technology. So
if they're doing it at night, if they do have passive systems like some sort of an optical system, wouldn't that be hindered by the low light conditions, or do we have stuff that is able to detect whatever they're looking for at night?
Yeah, depends what they're looking for. But ultimately, there is tech. There's electro-optical systems. There's infrared camera systems, not unlike the jets that, or the systems that we had on my jet. But we were able to detect.
All right, I'll skip it. I don't care. Sure, it'll just be a little shorter. Yeah, he just says they have. Anyway, same thing some other people have said is that there's they have no heat signature apparently. What do I have interesting on Canada? Thanks, Ma the Meatloaf. Thanks for the $10 super chat. That's very nice. It says, happy early Christmas. Wishing you all the best. Love the return of the daily videos. Keep up the good work. But I missed yesterday. I don't know. I've been having trouble getting all the stuff together to entertain everybody. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, Ma the Meatloaf. Thanks for the $10 super chat. Love that. We're closer to our goal, too. All right. This guy ran up to Trudeau. It was short.
Justin. Look at this faggot. Justin. Look at this faggot.
All right, I have some other Canadian government stuff. Let's see if it's any good.
This is as serious as it gets. The finance minister quit hours before she was supposed to do this, and she doesn't have confidence in this prime minister. No one does. This man is a disgrace, and we need an election now.
There you go. That's Canada. Here's this guy in Canada, Poliver. I guess the Conservatives are maybe going to win. That's what I heard.
Yeah, yesterday's post by President Trump just shows that Justin Trudeau and his chaotic clown show makes Canada weak. Trudeau's lost control of everything, lost control of borders, lost control of immigration, lost control of spending, inflation, and debt. And Canadians are paying the price for this chaotic NDP liberal clown show. Everyone is laughing. All around the world, Trudeau and the NDP liberals are seen as ridiculous. The price, though, is in smaller paychecks, higher costs, fewer jobs, more crime, chaos, drugs, and danger. But the good news is that Canadians can elect a common sense conservative government with a leader who has the brains and backbone to face President Trump, who has a plan to unleash the productive forces of our workers and entrepreneurs to bring home our money and defend our economy, and to take back control of our borders, immigration, spending, and everything else so that we can put Canada first.
There you go. Sounds familiar. Canada first. Where did he learn that from? All right, I have a few more videos. You guys, I don't know what to say about the school shooting. I have a video about someone who can't get in touch with Democrats. Thanks, son of the one, who says the one dude not interested is disinfo. You mean about the commercial company? It's disinfo? Okay. Thanks, son of the one. Good point. Here's Democrats complaining about how bad Kamala Harris was. Here, I'll just play that clip.
Donald Trump had that crazy rally at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I rolled the dice, and I called him on the phone. And he answered!
Of course he did! Of course! What'd he say?
And I wasn't calling to chit-chat. I said, Mr. President, this is Stephanie Rule. You made a lot of comments last night, blah, 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 blah. And it was not an on-the-record conversation. Long story, so I'm not going to get into what he said, but I called for one reason. I said, you just said a whole bunch of public things. I'd like to sit down for an interview with you. We got 5 days before the election. So we didn't get into anything. There's nothing for me to report. I called him and said, I want an interview with you. Obviously, he said no. But my point is, I was able to get to him by dialing his phone. Now that might be completely ape shit, and you're like, I can't believe people know this guy's phone number. But the reverse of that, if I were to want to connect with VP Harris or President Biden, there's 50 people between me and that. I could write a note that maybe could get to somebody, then through Pony Express and a pigeon, something might end up in a mailbox near them. And I called DJT to say, yo, can I have an interview? He told me to go fuck myself, but I still was able to connect with him. Yeah.
But he still picked up.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's an interesting difference between Trump and the Democrats, is you can actually get in touch with them, even if you're a liberal. All right, here's another guy who used to be liberal waking up to the Democrats lying about everything. I'll play that, Stephen A. Smith.
The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. The belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case. And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that process is rigged. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? I'm getting to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right to make the case.
Oops, there's more.
That the right had a monopoly on insidious, evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right instead of them.
There you go. This is the age of Trump, apparently. Everybody's getting into it. All right, I'm going to give you one last video. Thanks for tuning into the show. Appreciate it. Make sure you buy some t-shirts. If you want to support the show without giving it to YouTube, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. I'll play you James O'Keefe got an undercover video. The guy who says Biden is going to die. So I'll play that.
Well, here's something Joe Biden is like, yeah, he like can't to say a sentence. He's like really like progressed in his whole view. Everybody recognized. I can't believe it wasn't a bigger scandal. He'll be dead in a year.
Meet Henry Pell, an advisor for the.
All right, that's news. You saw it. All right, cool. I went through the videos. I showed you guys some news. I talked about Flat Earth a little. We talked a little bit about Bitcoin, not much. And that's the news for today. A little short. But that's what I have for you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks, Al Shizzle, Ma the Meatloaf, and Son of the One. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the show. And everybody else who does that, buy our t-shirts and so forth. And that's it for today. All right, guys. For now, that's what it is.